Hello, I'm Brandy Metz. I work at Food Lion and I've been there almost 3 years. Today I'm going to be introducing to you the new chip reader terminal. Okay, how do you use the chip reader terminal? In case some of you don't know, there is a advanced feature we have on our cards. It's a little square at the bottom, and I'll talk more about how to use it later and what it's all about. Alright, the chip reader terminal is a new improved way to accept payment. It protects you against having fraudulent charges made onto your card, and so this is designed for your safety, and the reader terminal is meant to accommodate this new feature that we all have. Okay, how do you use the chip reader? So first you're going to insert your card. Second, it's going to prompt you, and then you act accordingly to the prompt. And third, it's going to make an alert of some sort, so that way you can take your card out. I'm going to be showing you a short video, that way you can get a little idea of what a transaction might look like.
Chip cards. Just like your regular card, only smarter. Have greater acceptance around the world. And best of all, offer new defenses against fraud and counterfeiting. That's because in addition to the traditional magnetic strip located on the back of many cards today, these cards also include a computer chip. And when used at a chip-enabled terminal, the chip and the reader interact with each other, validating the card and securing the transaction with a one-time code, making them far more secure. So, how do I use my new card? Simple. Start the payment process by swiping your chip card just as you do today. If the terminal is chip-enabled, you'll be prompted to insert the card. Chip-enabled terminals include a slot for inserting your card. If the terminal doesn't include a card slot, you'll simply swipe your card as usual. When using a chip-enabled terminal, insert your card face up, chip end first. Leave your card inserted during the entire transaction, so the chip and the terminal can securely exchange information. Follow the on-screen instructions and either sign your name or enter your PIN as needed. Once completed, remove your card and take your receipt. For ATM transactions, insert your card into the terminal and follow the instructions on the screen. Depending on the type of ATM, you might be prompted to reinsert your card. These new cards will not affect how you currently make payments online or by telephone. Enhanced security chip cards, made smarter, to protect you better.
Okay. There are some problems with this new technology. I really like this meme because, as you can see here, the cashier is telling the customer with a big grocery cart full of groceries that his card isn't working and he wants to know, does he have any cash? This is an issue we see a lot. So one of the issues are the customer will insert the card incorrectly because they're not familiar with it. They don't understand what it is or what it looks like or what it does. This takes up a lot of time. It takes much longer than the terminals that take the magnetic strip. All terminals aren't consistent with each other, so a customer may come to one store and have to use the chip reader, and they may go to another store and have to use the magnetic strip, and so they just never know, and so it's taking up a lot of time when they're trying to get their transactions done. And another thing is, if you are used to using your credit card, you may now have to get used to using a PIN code, and it will happen at random, and it won't always be every time. It won't always be every place you go to. So that's something just for your information, so you can expect. The reason why is so that someone doesn't just pick up your card and stick it in the terminal and the transaction goes through. So it's really a safety feature for you. Also, I've heard customers complain that ever since we had this chip reader, it cuts you off in the middle of signing on a credit card. So I don't like that. So this picture represents how a lot of customers feel. It just feels like you're in jail, like you're trapped in this chip reader. When they send it to you in the mail, your chip card, you are stuck with it and you can't go back to the magnetic swipe. So you have to, you just have to comply with the new rules. Okay, so there's a chip routine that everyone, or some people have to go through when their chip is sent to them in the mail. It's corrupted, it's made wrong, and so when you come to us at Food Lion and you stick your card in the chip reader, our chip reader is going to prompt you to take it out, put it back in, take it out, put it back in. You have to do it 3 times, and then you have to swipe it. You will have to figure this out. There's no special thing in the instructions that this is how it happens, and so that's definitely a delay. A lot of people take out the card too soon. If you do that, you have to start your transaction all over again. And when you do start your transaction again, our computer does not like duplicate transactions, so you have to take away something or you have to add something to make a new amount. This is another thing that's holding you back from just getting in and out of the store. And getting cash back has been a major issue. I'm not really sure if it's related to the chip reader, but ever since we've had it, some people with certain banks can't get cash back, and sometimes it won't even ask them. So this definitely makes a lot of people unhappy. And lastly, what I always hear is it has a disturbing approval tone. Everybody thinks that you are, that they're denied and that the transaction didn't go through. But the reason for this is because they just want to make sure that you take your card out of the terminal and you don't leave it in there for the next person to grab. So that's really what it is, but it's definitely not a pleasant sound. So after all of the problems and everything, let's just remember that this is a safety feature and it's meant for all of us. So again, I do really like this meme. So again, the benefits of this chip reader is that it's designed for your safety. How they do this, the reason why it's so safe is that the chip has encrypted numbers that change. The numbers change every time you make a transaction, so that way the authenticity of the card is changed every time. And one thing is, we are new to this chip reader. We're new to this new safety feature, and it is known to be effective in Europe. They've had it for years, and the rate has dropped. The fraud rates have dropped, so that's a really good thing. So in conclusion, it won't be inconsistent for long. Eventually, all the stores and everything will comply with the same thing. We're all going to have the chip readers. Eventually, over time, we'll all get there. It seems like it's a pain right now, but it will all be faster once everybody understands and knows how to do it. And it's inconvenient at the moment, but in the long run, it's going to save you lots of minutes, hours, even days, or even months, because your card may have, if it had a fraudulent transaction on it, you'd be dealing with a whole nother mess. So right now, this is definitely a good feature for you guys to have. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.